Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great, great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now, before the big crash happened in crypto, XRP was performing very well, and a lot of people took notice. XRP is most profitable coin of the week so far, but will it hold at the top? XRP decouples from top cryptos as Ripple gains lead in SEC lawsuit. Now, I feel a lot of people are really downplaying the price of XRP after the case comes to an end and Ripple wins because they like to say, well, I still don't see it breaking $1. What, are you crazy? How do you not see what's about to happen? Because, like we see here, XRP is trading at an average of 38 cents at press time. However, its 24-hour trading volume is up by 21% to stand at $1.9 billion. On-chain data depicts that the crypto whale addresses are moving millions of XRP over exchanges in reaction to the latest rulings in the long-term running US SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. So if the whales are already moving XRP just based on a little pieces of news that are happening, how much XRP do you think is going to move once we finally get judgment or a settlement happens? All of a sudden, I see the price of XRP skyrocketing. Other people just don't see it, I guess. But it shows you right there that they're already moving it just on little announcements. Wait till the big one comes. Deaton describes naming Ripple executives in lawsuit as a major mistake from the SEC. Attorney Johnny Deaton has expressed that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission made a major mistake in naming Ripple executives Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen in its enforcement against Ripple Labs. The crypto law founder expressed this view in a lengthy Twitter thread yesterday as he attempted to explain the possible reason why Judge Annalisa Torres overruled the SEC's objections to Ripple expert testimony on the non-securities treatment of XRP by other agencies. He noted that these testimonies spoke to whether Ripple executives were reckless not to know that XRP was a security. As formerly highlighted by the attorney, the SEC will need to prove this to the court to find the executives guilty of aiding and abetting the sale of unregistered securities. So now that the SEC named Chris and Brad, now they have to prove that they did things wrong. But as an XRP holder, you could probably say the same thing as I'm about to say. I bought XRP because I had a vision for it. I could see where it's going to go based on utility and use case, not based on what Ripple is doing at the time. And back then, nobody really knew what Ripple was up to, what was going on behind the scenes. Everything was conspiracy theory back then about, CBDCs coming about, things like that. So none of us probably invested based on Ripple in any way. Crypto lawyers agree that XRP status will be decided by trial, no summary judgment. Now, we got to hope this does not go to trial because this could take years. And I want this to wrap up already. I want the judge to come out, rule in favor of Ripple, and get this thing over with because I feel it's been going on far too long. So SEC's Gensler rejects crypto threat to move overseas. Wall Street's top cop on Tuesday slammed crypto businesses for refusing to get in line even after a crackdown by regulators and said he sees no risk in them pulling up stakes to head overseas. We lose more if investors get harmed here. Gensler said in an interview at the agency's headquarters in Washington, it is a basic bargain in finance. If you want to raise money from the public, disclose certain facts and figures. So Gary doesn't care that innovation walks out of the U.S. And he says that retail investors are more important. People are going to lose money and get harmed. But yet we know better. Gary could care less about me or you. Gary cares about becoming that guy who regulated crypto. He wants to further his career. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in another video. But on top of that, look at the way retail investors are treated. Why would he be meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried if he cared so much about retail investors? Fox Business Charles Gasparino bets Deaton on SEC win against Ripple. Now, I think Gasparino's going to lose this bet, but Fox Business senior correspondent Charles Gasparino has bet attorney Johnny Deaton that the United States SEC would win its case against Ripple. This happened in an episode of Clayman Countdown aired yesterday. Notably, both parties bet a steak dinner on the outcome of the extended legal battle. I will bet Gasparino right now a steak dinner because I know for a fact Ripple is going to win this. It looks so good. The case for Ripple looks amazing compared to the SEC's case. Is Ripple ready? Swift announced progress in testing CBDC use cross-border payments. So they always like to talk about how Swift is evolving, getting better. But I know for a fact that they're not going to be able to beat Ripple. Ripple is just so much better. And if anything, I see Ripple and Swift working together in the future. Or maybe Swift utilizing XRP in the future. Because other than that, everybody knows Swift is not the better choice as far as cross-border payments. Bank of Canada mentions XRP and XLM as stablecoins for cross-border payment. And we see it right here. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, Ripple, and Stellar's network native cryptocurrency, Stellar Lumens. Both Ripple and Stellar enable faster, more efficient cross-border payments relative to correspondent banking. So there you have it. They see that Ripple and XLM are better than Swift. Top Australian and Canadian banks tap Ripple's payment solution for cross-border payments. And that continues to happen non-stop throughout the world. So how is Swift going to compete with Ripple in the future if banks are already choosing Ripple over Swift? Since RippleNet was launched, it has attracted over 300 financial institutions globally as they continue to show their support for the payment network, despite Ripple's legal woes with the SEC. NAB and CIBC's adoption of Ripple's RippleNet solution reiterates the confidence financial institutions outside the United States have in the blockchain company's reputation. There you go. And other banks see the same thing. That's why I said, I don't care what alternative Swift is coming up with, it's not going to be better than Ripple's solution. And Ripple gets in the door, and what follows? The secret sauce, XRP. Ripple to serve CBDC for 20 central banks worldwide in trillion-dollar market. And again, if all these countries are going to utilize Ripple for their CBDCs, how is anyone else going to be able to compete with them in the future? How can you, as a country, sit there and look at this country performing payments much better than you're performing them, even if you were to choose Swift? That's why I said, year over year, I see Ripple taking more business away from Swift. That's how XRP is going to get to those really high prices. Ripple partner AirWallet secures license via acquisition to serve world's largest digital payments market. And this is all part of that massive network that's forming. Like I always tell you, if it's not Ripple directly, it's a partner of Ripple, all bringing that new system together little by little. AirWallet, the fintech unicorn backed by Tencent Holdings and Tycoon Horizon Adventures, has secured a license to offer online payment services in mainland China through an acquisition. And these payments are very big. I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars, 3.5 trillion. And that's going to continue to grow out as well. At some point, I still believe China is going to choose Ripple for their CBDC. People just don't believe that yet, but I believe it's going to happen. Because everything is changing as far as BRICS as well. Just because Ripple's based in the U.S. doesn't mean that they can't be utilized in China outside of the U.S. Besides that, look, I see our government working with China behind the scenes more than anything else. And then there's this. So creator of Bitcoin, Craig Wright, takes a dig at Ripple again. Australian computer scientist Craig Wright, claiming to be the creator of Bitcoin, has gone public with another attack on Ripple and XRP. This time, it hit the crypto company's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, whom Wright labeled as a criminal. The reason for such scandalous statement from the fake Satoshi was Garlinghouse's recent comments that the SEC's wave of regulating through enforcement could hurt the crypto industry in the U.S. Let me tell you something. Brad is out there fighting for all of crypto. If Ripple wins this case, that's going to set the next runoff, in my opinion. I believe all of a sudden these utility-driven coins are really going to start to pop off. On top of that, it's good for crypto as a whole. This is not Wright's first such attack on Ripple, though, and XRP directly, which he previously called the most worthless pump-and-dump scheme. At the same time, Fake Toshi, as Wright has been nicknamed in the crypto space, has further promised to provide an academic analysis of XRP in 2023, which he says will show just how dishonest the system is. I think this guy just wants to stay relevant, stay important somehow. And anyone who's claiming to be Satoshi, you got to kind of second guess it right out of the gate. After Silvergate Bank announced its voluntary liquidation, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren is attributing the financial institution's downfall to crypto's rise. So we see here now, I feel Elizabeth Warren should be pulled away from crypto altogether. She shouldn't even be able to talk about crypto at this point, because she doesn't see what her statements, how they're wrong. I think she believes that all of crypto is bad, but it's really not. It's just some actors inside of crypto, such as Sam Bankman-Fried. Some critics argue that Warren is employing the age-old propaganda that blames objects rather than individuals and businesses for failure. This approach is akin to inanimate weapons causing violence on their own, a pencil writing a hateful letter anonymously, or cryptocurrencies causing harm to investors rather than the crypto business operators. Many critics on Twitter disagree with Senator Warren's views on the matter. In response to her allegations, Crypto CFA Ram, I can't even say that name, offered a different perspective on the Silvergate situation. That's what she's doing, though. If you watch what she says, she talks about money laundering. She talks about drug activity. Then she talks about retail investors getting hurt. But we hold the greatest cryptos of all time, these ISO coins. We hold XRP. We know better. We know it's the crypto of the future. We know it's the technology of the future. How were you harmed by XRP, other than Gary delaying XRP's inevitable run up at some point by delaying the whole case for over the past 2 years? Other than that, you got to look at the rest of crypto as well. It's a few bad actors in crypto giving crypto a bad name. She needs to either come to terms with that or just step away from crypto altogether. Crypto traders and investors should brace themselves for some surprises in U.S. President Joe Biden's upcoming budget proposal. Now, this is terrible. I hope this doesn't happen. So crypto traders and investors should brace themselves for some surprises. The proposal includes a plan to double the capital gains tax for certain investors and to tighten regulations on crypto wash sales. The Biden administration is expected to unveil its fiscal 2024 budget proposal on March 9th, which seeks to reduce the deficit by nearly $3 trillion over the next decade. The plan also includes provisions for changing to the taxation of cryptocurrencies, which are projected to generate approximately $24 billion in revenue. One proposal under consideration is to eliminate a popular tax strategy used by crypto traders called tax loss harvesting, where an individual sells assets at a loss for tax purposes before repurchasing them immediately after. We see that happen a lot in crypto around tax time. But the one I'm really looking at is the fact that he wants to double the capital gains from 20% to 40% on crypto. First off, I don't like to even pay taxes, especially when you see our money leave the country, when we have big problems right here at home that need to be addressed. Now he wants, when XRP takes off, think about it like this, okay? Say XRP goes to, say you make $1 million. All of a sudden, you got to hand over $400,000 to the IRS. I feel that's above and beyond. You know, it was bad enough at 20%, now 40%. And where's that money going to go? I'm sure we'll see more money go overseas to the Ukraine at some point. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. Sorry, I made a few mistakes in this video. You got to remember, I don't use a script, so sometimes I pronounce things wrong, and sometimes I mess up in my videos. If you're new to the channel, you'll get to see that over time. But I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.